Hi
guys,
everyone.
and welcome back to One Couple.
Two cultures.
And today it's episode
10.
Yes, our first 10 episodes are behind us. Well, not yet. Today is the 10th. And it's a special episode because we have invited my parents to join us today and talk about themselves, which they obviously love to do. But no, like us, they are also a couple from two different cultures. So we want to talk a little bit about that today. My mom originally, maybe you can see from her looks, German, blonde, blue-eyed, tall, so fits the profile, let's say. And my dad, originally from Spain, maybe fits the profile, black hair, maybe.
Totally.
I don't know. Works. So yeah, they come from two different cultures, but they found themselves together in Germany. And so there's a lot of open questions there to answer for us today. So Sabrina's going to have the first question, so she's got to be careful because future, parents-in-law and all. So shoot away.
Uh-oh. Hokey dokey then. Okay, my first question is for you, Christian. You were originally born and raised in Barcelona, correct?
Correct.
And you moved to Germany.
Also correct.
Good. So I'm off to a good start.
2 for 2.
What age did you move to Germany?
8 years.
And how was that for you, moving from Spain to Germany? I'm sure it must have been different. I don't know, at 8 years old, if you can remember much or...
Well, actually, I can remember quite a bit, but it was less of a traumatic experience as you may envisage, coming from the sun to clouds and rain. For me, I was 8 years old, yes, but my mother was German, my father was Spanish, and that made a whole difference, I think, because I was already accustomed to kind of the German thinking and the German way.
Interesting.
And yeah, kind of. And really the most striking experience for me was actually in school. I mean,
really?
The normal family life, my parents did the best to not have that change too much. And yes, I definitely sensed the difference in weather. Clearly, that wasn't too difficult, but it was okay, actually. I think as an 8-year-old, you don't think that much about it. So that wasn't that bad.
Can I ask what was a difference that you can remember in school?
Well, there were quite a bit of differences. I mean, to start with, that in Spain, it's a whole day school. So it was at the time, I went to school at, 8 or 9 in the morning. I think 9 o'clock it was. And then spent the day in school until 5 o'clock or 5:30.
That long?
Yep,
Oh
that's how it was. And in Germany, you came from school at 12 o'clock, you went to 8 o'clock, and then 12 o'clock it was over at 12:30. So that was quite a difference. It was a little bit like a vacation going to Germany.
So you're saying when you came home, you bothered your parents more?
Do I have to accept every question?
No, you do not.
That's good. So
From your son, you do.
No, we skip that one. She was asking, First lesson for
She's
any
gotta be
couple.
polite. I don't have to be.
Hey, come on. Any couple in any culture, if women talk, let them talk.
Constantin.
So,
exactly.
Yeah. Good one, isn't it? So, no, and the vacation kind of feeling even became more pronounced because not only was school over much earlier, but school in Germany was so much easier than in Spain. I mean, it
really?
was totally. I mean, in Spain, when we had first class, we could already write and we could already, read. And we actually, when I left Spain 8 years old, we were dividing 5-digit numbers and everything in school.
Oh my
and
God.
then I came to Germany and, people were basically just having really gone through, being able to read, to write, and we started with 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 2 times 5.
So you must have
like
been
that.
so advanced for your age when you got there.
Well, I wouldn't say, I had an advantage in those kind of things at the start. I'd say so, not because I was whatever better in that sense, but I had learned more.
Yeah.
And that was indeed in some of the subjects. I think I definitely knew a little bit more, and that helped definitely to adjust at the beginning.
For sure.
Yeah. And then the third factor, and just to finish that off, which again made it so much easier in school in Germany, was that in Spain, during the time that I was there, we were still beaten in school. And, you know,
I'm sorry. Really?
well, yeah, if you did certain things, you
Yeah.
know, if you didn't behave well, then you had to come to the front of the class, you know, show your fingertips, and you were beaten with a wooden, what do you call it? A ruler, exactly, on your fingertips, sometimes on your head. And sometimes it was a little bit more than that. And you also had to sit in the corner, you know, kind of this, I don't know, I can't do it right now, but you know, it's yeah, I mean, with your legs and your hip down and whatever.
Oof.
And they just then waited until you broke, basically, you know, until you broke down.
Oh my
you
God.
couldn't do it anymore.
It's funny because I never really thought that would be a thing in Spain.
Well, Spain during
know?
that time when I was there was still dictatorship, you know, and I was at a Jesuit school, and we had monks and teachers, and the monks were very nice, actually, very strict, but very nice, but the teachers were less nice. And so
Interesting.
that was, and in Germany, you know, nobody touched you really. I mean,
Yeah.
so it was really coming to a totally different school world.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, it kind of explains his thick-headedness today if he got beaten by that ruler on the head a couple times.
Yeah, well.
All right, Constantin.
Well, my next question...
Can Sabrina continue the
No,
asking,
no,
please?
it's my turn now. My next question is actually for my mom. So, pass the microphone. You know, Mom, you have, when you were younger, been to Boston, to Australia, to Paris. You've been to several places and you've lived there for some time. So obviously those are all different experiences in different countries, you know, with you coming from Germany. So what were some of the experiences that stuck with you? Some of the cultural differences that stuck with you? Maybe something you took away from it and wanted to keep, and something you were like, wow, that really shocked me, in a sense.
Yeah, I would say when you speak about these three countries, for me, the most interesting country was Australia, because there people were so nice. And just coming from Germany, it was very much like they were so friendly. They did a lot of great things to me. Particularly, I could stay. I was there for 6 months, and after the first 2 weeks, I spent in a hotel. I was working there already. This family offered me that I could stay with them and just do a little bit of babysitting, and so I stayed the whole 6 months with them, and I had a great time, and they were so friendly, so nice, and I took a lot of experiences from that time to later when I had a family, so that I always would be able to or would be prepared for offering other people that they could stay with us and that they would make some nice experience in Germany, because in my opinion Germans aren't so friendly normally. You know, that was also
They aren't known for being that friendly.
They aren't so
Yeah.
They aren't so open minded.
I think like there might be a difference between southern and northern Germany. That's what people say.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, where I
don't
come
know.
from, it's more the middle of Germany. There, people are very open-minded, I would say.
In certain parts of Germany there.
And but still, it's a huge difference. You know, it's a huge difference. And same in Boston. I had a lot of very, very nice. I mean, in Boston, I met these two. I was in this house of these very nice two women. I still have contact today with them, and they were so nice to me. They offered me. They gave me so many possibilities. And at that time, I studied English. So I had great 6 months with them. So yeah, my experiences were very nice. Same in Paris, but Paris was again very different.
So all positive, though, pretty
All
much.
positive, yeah, very positive.
very
In
nice.
comparison, particularly to Germany, because Germany is just very, in my opinion, maybe today it's a little bit more different because a lot of people are coming also to Germany. So, but a lot of Germans are still very closed, in my opinion. If you can say this.
He's offering a different opinion.
I'm offering a different opinion in that sense because I think that Germany has changed quite a bit, you know, in that sense. I think that the fact that, you know, I've been now more than 40 years in Germany, and I think when I came, yes, aside from certain areas, you know, the Rhine area or the Rhineland and so on, and Bergisches Land or whatever, certain areas.
Rhineland?
Yeah,
Did I say
well,
that
that's how
correctly?
it's called,
Oh,
but
interesting.
certain areas of Germany, they have always been very open, others less, but I think over the last 30, 40 years, because Germans have traveled so much and because many people have made the experiences like you had in Australia or whatever, they have become much more open. And today I'd say Germany in great parts is a much more open country, and people are more open than they have been in the past. That's at least what I'd say, Yeah, certainly compared to the Australians or compared to others, still, well, they're just, they're great. No doubt about it.
I mean, Australians are known. I feel like Australians, Canadians are known for being open and nice, and not necessarily all parts of the U.S. are known for being open and nice, but I feel like Australia. I've had a couple of people go there, and I think most people have said people are great, animals are dangerous, pretty much. But yeah, so I can see that. But I think Sabrina wanted to ask a very good question.
I did. So I guess my question is for you also, because like us, you guys are both come from two different cultures. You coming from Spain, you growing up in Germany. And I wanted to ask, Constantine came into my family, huge Italian family. Your family is also Spanish, so huge Spanish family. It was different for you coming into mine. What was your experience going into such a big Spanish family? Was it nice?
You're
Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, you're interested in my answer, I guess. No, it is very interesting. For me, the first impression was, let's say, people were also the same, very friendly in comparison to Germany, and they were like, the family was just very big. I was always very much. Wow, I said, like, when we are inviting family, then we know exactly, okay, there are coming 10 people. We put 10 plates on the table. And in Spain, my first experience was, okay, we are doing something like a party tonight. Everybody is coming. And then I was asking, okay, how many people are coming?
Who knows?
And nobody could tell me, and there were like a lot of plates, and when there wouldn't have been enough things to eat, they said, okay, then somebody eats a little bit less. So it was never a problem about how many people are coming, and everybody was so happy. As more people were coming, everybody was more happy. So I really liked this very much. And also I will never forget when once there was again a party when we came to Spain. I mean, the weather was great, like always, and there were coming so many people, so many relatives. So they put all the chairs outside, all the lamps outside, and we were just sitting in this big garden, and the children were asking at around like 7 o'clock, okay, when do we eat? Like, Constantine, you were so hungry. And I said, it might still take a while. And so we ate around like 10 or 11 o'clock. And that's kind of early, maybe, but not for the Germans, for our German kids. I mean, and we normally ate late at that time, which is like 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. The Germans normally eat at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So that was a huge difference. And for our kids, it was a big difference.
Yeah, so what you're describing is what one of the first experience for me was with Sabrina was the one, obviously big groups, and two, the spontaneity of things.
Yes, totally.
That it's just like, and I feel like I inherited that trait from you in part, that I like to plan things. And you like to plan things. Things where...
Wait. I have to, raise an objection here, Your Honor.
Denied.
No, not denied. No, I mean, this is clearly a prejudice here against Spanish people, Yes, Germans like to plan, but we also like to plan. We are just open for surprises. We know that it never goes according to plan, and if something else comes up, we deal with it.
Sure.
That's the only difference.
That.
Yeah, absolutely, isn't it? But we also like to plan.
I feel like it's more the other way. You like to be spontaneous, and if a plan happens to come along, you take it.
No, I plan a lot.
Yeah, Yeah, you planned a lot, but I learned also.
You've been
a
in
lot.
Germany for 40 years.
That's true.
You
I
were
learned-
indoctrinated. And you're a lawyer. Double.
Next prejudice. Now we are against lawyers? Come on.
Okay. All right.
Lawyers are great.
All right. All right.
To play Monopoly with.
That would take a long explanation.
That's a long explanation.
Yeah, but the short
long.
is that my daughter-in-law to be, or is already, I mean, at that time, to be, she doesn't deal well with losing in Monopoly. That's
I
the
don't
short
deal
one.
well.
And we stop it here.
Okay, fine.
Well, we have a last question. So you guys moved to Chicago together, actually, after you were married already, and you had 2 kids already. My big sister and a 3-month cute Constantin. And you moved over to Chicago for a year because Dad was studying there, and that was obviously a big, change from Germany to Chicago for a year with 2 kids. How did that go? How were the cultural impacts, experienced this there in the U.S.?
Let's say I only can speak for me and for the 2 children, let's say in this way, because I was responsible for you at that time because your father was studying. He was still a lot at home, but still his main part was studying. And so, first of all, I thought this will be very difficult for me. But at the end, I must say, and also I thought this when we've been there, it was a great experience because America offers so many things for little kids. And let's say we took all our possibilities, and at that time we didn't have any money, yeah. So it was very difficult. We couldn't afford a car or something, but still then you could do so many things in Chicago. And we went to all the museums, and particularly the museums in America, in my opinion, they offer a lot of possibilities for little children. And you made a lot of different experiences with electricity, with water, I loved it for you.
There
It
were
was
some
great.
very interactive
Yes,
museums where you
exactly.
could interact with
Exactly.
the
And at
single
that
things.
time in Germany, they didn't exist. Not like this. So we spent each week, like always, in 3 different museums. I always went with you there. And also the rest, I mean, the American people, they were very, very open again.
Well, you also mainly got to know you got to know a lot of international people too.
Yeah, but also some American people. We still are very good friends with them
But
today.
also to be fair, a big part of the US is that it's a country of
Yeah,
immigrants.
that's
so
true.
it is a lot of people from all over the place generally too that you get to know in the first place. So
No, that's true.
that makes sense too. But yeah, I've heard stories about I can tell that story because I know it. That when you moved over to Chicago, that basically all your friends from the university came and gave you the stuff that they didn't need anymore.
Actually not.
Is that correct?
It was a little bit different. I had, when I said that I wanted to do this master, Mom told me basically, okay, go ahead, but, we need to have it financed somehow. And I got 2 scholarships, and one of them was actually with a tutor, with a mentor, which was from the Rotary Foundation. And when I came over, he basically was waiting for me, and I told him, in a week from now, my family comes, 2 little kids, my wife, and we need to get things sorted out somehow. And and then he said, well, what do you mean things sorted out? Yeah, I have to buy at least some things so that we can sleep and whatever in the apartment. He said, forget about it, I will drive around. I will tell people, that there are these Germans coming with 2 little kids, and I'll drive around and collect stuff, And, well, we drove around, and, when you came, basically you had almost everything. You had, indeed, toys and everything that the families gave, And so it was really the Americans here that helped a lot.
No, I have to say.
She was like, hold on.
No, I have to say something
second.
because they had a children's room. They had so many toys,
Yeah, more than at home.
They had much more than at home. They had a little bit of everything. They could play outside, inside. It was just amazing, really amazing in my opinion.
You saw something here which happens in every culture. You know, if the woman wants to take the microphone, I give it over. No, but it was really...
Dad. If the woman wants to speak, you gotta let her speak.
Hey, absolutely.
Remember that lesson
See?
a wise man told me once.
See, yeah, well, you learn. No, but to finish that off, you know, so we had great experience actually with our American counterparty there, the family of the mentor we met at the time, but also with our neighbors, which we are still friends, you know, Rick and Heidi, and many others that we met, but also the international people indeed. You know, we were more than 30 in our program, and of many countries. I think it was 25 or something. And we, being the, you know, the daddy and mommy, you know, of that community, we invited people to us, you know.
Every Thursday. And we cooked so that we could stay together. It was very nice.
Yeah, and that was, you know, a great experience, and we're still friends with some of them. So yeah, I mean, overall Chicago was a great year, I think, for both of us, and definitely Mom did a great job, you know, bringing us through that year, or bringing you through that year. And so I think we definitely would look back with a lot of gratitude to that.
But no, I just want to summarize by basically saying that you came from two different cultures, one couple, going strong for a long time now, and you've also collected a lot of other cultures and cultural experiences along the way, and impacts you've got from Australia, Boston, Paris, Spain. You know, you went to Indonesia in your studies and all over the place. So, yeah, I really think that shows how it enriches your life. And you also, you know, raised two kids, who obviously one now lives in Los Angeles, which I think I don't know if I would have had the courage to do so if you guys wouldn't have, you know, raised me to be independent and to be open to travel to other places. And I know, you know, and I say that, you made it possible for me to have the courage to do so. Doesn't make it any easier, but I do think that, you know, that made it possible for me to feel like I could have a home somewhere else too, you know, and to be comfortable enough to say, I will find my way, because I think a lot of people are scared to move away from home, understandably so, you know, and I moved away alone. We didn't know anybody in Los Angeles. And I think, you know, because I grew up with the stories that you've told today about the great experiences you've had traveling to other countries. And I didn't know at that time that I was going to stay there. But yeah, so I think, you know, that shows that, I don't know, maybe it shows even if you come from a couple with two cultures, maybe you yourself are more likely to be a couple from two cultures. And it carries on a long line of couple of two cultures. Maybe we'll have a couple of two cultures. So. Yeah, exactly. So that's, I don't know. Maybe that's how it is. We'll find out.
Not right now.
Well, good luck with that.
And no, well, thank you for coming on our podcast. And
it was very interesting.
We can't wait to have you on it again at some point.
It'll be really fun. Thanks,
maybe
guys.
play some group Monopoly or something.
Oh.
That's a big fat I don't think so.
All right, I think that's the time to cut it before we get into an argument. So let's cut it here. Thanks, guys.
Bye,
We'll
guys.
see you next time.